Grace and peace, family and friends, and to all my brothers and sisters who may be tuning in to this message this morning. I say to you, first of all, good morning to you. I pray all is well with you and your families. I pray the Lord is blessing you, keeping you while you're going through whatever it is you're going through. And I want to encourage you that whatever it is you're going through, to continue to keep on believing, keep on praying, keep on standing in faith for your breakthrough. God may not answer you suddenly, but I do sure believe He will answer you eventually. So keep on believing. Never, ever give up. And I believe the Lord will see you. Again, this is Reverend Sanford Dickerson Jr. bringing you the Victorious Life Word for the day. And the Victorious Life Word for this day is in form of our continuing series, Staying Right with God. Staying Right with God. And so for the past few weeks, we've been talking about staying right with God. In order to stay right with God, you got to do what? Guard your heart. And so as I start to bring this series to a conclusion for the next couple of days, I want to talk about how to stay right with God. And the way to stay right with God, you're going to have to guard your heart against three things. There are three ways that the devil comes against us to tempt us with. There's only three ways he can tempt us. I know that's hard to believe, but there's only really three areas in which the devil tempts us. And so we've been talking about staying right with God. And I said that we also, in order to stay right with God, you're going to have to guard your heart. So coming out of Proverbs 4:23, it says, keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. Or you can read it this way, guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. Proverbs 4:23. And so for the past, again, few days, we've been talking about staying right with God. Well, in order for you to stay right with God, you're going to have to learn these three areas of where to guard our hearts and how to guard our heart against those three areas in which the devil comes to mess with us and tempts us. And the three areas we must guard our heart against is the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. The lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. That's coming out of 1 John 2:15 and 16. These are the three areas in which the devil uses to tempt us. And yesterday, I talked about the lust of the flesh. In order for us to guard our heart, we're going to have to, one, learn how to what? Take authority over our flesh and stop letting our flesh take authority over us. If you cannot control your flesh, you will never be able to guard your heart against the devil. You will not be able to get right with God. And while you may be able to get right with God, but it's going to be hard for you to stay right with God if you don't guard your heart against the lust of the flesh. And so today I want to talk about the other area that the devil comes and tempts us, and that is with the lust of the eyes. The lust of the eyes. Other area, like I said, is the lust of the eyes. This is another area in which the devil knows he can use against us to yield to what? Temptation, and to get us to fall. He knows that we are virtual or visual, beings, and that we are very intrigued and enticed by what we see with our eyes, especially when it comes to men. I'll just leave that right there. We're so easily enticed by our eyes, by what we see, and it's usually the devil uses against us the opposite sex. But anyway, we're not going to get into that. We're all, male and female, are tempted by the lust of our eyes. He knows that if he could just get us to look, my brothers and family friends, we will have a hard time resisting temptation. This is how he got Adam, and this is how he got Eve, right? And this is how David fell. Adam and Eve looked at the apple and saw that it was good, and they were what? Enticed. And what did they do? They ate of it. David looked at Bathsheba bathing and saw that she looked good and was enticed. And he did what? He ended up sleeping with her and then had her what? Husband killed. You have to read the full story of what happened there with David. I'm not going to get into all of it. Both Adam and Eve and David fell to sin due to what? The lust of the eyes. We too, my brothers and friends, will fall to sin if we do not only guard our hearts against the lust of the flesh, but we also need to guard our hearts against the lust of the eyes. And if we do not do that, we will not be able to stay right with God. So we must also guard our hearts, or guard our eyes from the lust of the flesh, and we must guard our eyes as well as our hearts about the things that the devil uses to entice us. My brothers and friends, staying right with God. So far, you need to what? Guard your heart. Number one. And guard your heart against the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes. Tomorrow, we're talking about the pride of life. I told you there's 3 areas that he tempts us. The lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and tomorrow we'll be talking about the pride of life. God bless you. Let us pray. Our Father God, thank you for this time. I thank you for this word. I pray that all those in the sound of my voice have been blessed, have been encouraged, have been uplifted, have been strengthened by this word. That they learn how to, now we're learning to stay right with God. That they learn to guard their heart against the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes, as they continue to work on staying right with you. We praise you, we bless you, we give your name all the honor, glory, and praise. And we ask you to help us do that each and every day, to practice guarding our hearts against the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and just guarding our hearts, period, against the things the devil comes to tempt us with. We thank you, we praise you, and give your name all the honor, glory, and praise, and by faith, we claim it done. Amen, amen, and amen. God bless you, family and friends. Remember this, all things are possible to him, to her, to those of them that believe. Why? Because there's absolutely positively nothing too hard for the Lord. Never stop praying, never stop believing, and never, ever, ever give up. Why? Because your healing, your miracle, and your deliverance is on its way as long as you don't give up, stop believing, and never, never, ever quit praying. God bless you. God bless you. Continue to enjoy your day. Be safe out there, and I will talk to you again tomorrow. God bless you.